I'm going to talk about why I still use film. I'm oftentimes asked this question by people that used to use film and no longer do, or people who never used film before. And so I've tried to talk to them about image quality, tonal quality, and just overall that film has this different look about it and so forth. But they still don't quite understand why it is that anyone would want to go through the arduous task, well, never mind arduous task, of utilizing film to come to a photographic image. And so over the years I've thought about this, and I didn't want to insult them with why I use film, but I wanted to come up with a way to describe to them so that they could understand why anyone or myself would still want to do this. And the best way that I have found to describe this is through a sort of a story or analogy. And so I talk, as if I'm speaking to them, I say, imagine you and I are both going to leave the East Coast and we're going to travel to the West Coast. But you are going to take a luxury car and major highways, and you're going to stop along the way at nice restaurants and stay in nice hotels, and you're going to travel there. I, however, am going to take a stagecoach and pack, rations, and I'm going to take, the back, not even roads, just, trails and unmarked trails and mountainous terrain, sort of Oregon Trail style. I'm going to have to hunt for my food along the way. I may get sick. I'm going to grow a big old beard and smell funny and stuff like that. And they're going to get there all well rested and arrive in 4, 5, 6 days. Depends on how slow and leisurely they want to do it. But I, however, am going to struggle and have a difficult time. And this is even if I make it. I don't have great wilderness skills, so this is even implying that I make it along the way. But let's just say that I make it. And so we meet on the West Coast. They have to wait for, they get there in 4, 5, 6 days. They have to wait for me for however long it takes me, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, who knows. And so we both get there, and what I say to them is, the difference between this is that you will be the same person, maybe a little different from their experience, but not that much different. Basically, they'll be the same person they were when they left. I, however, will be an entirely different person. I will have changed through the experience of the way that I traveled and the journey that I took. So for me, shooting film is about the journey. It's really not entirely about the end result. I mean, yes, I want to have good photographs, as do they when they, whatever means they choose to capture and make images. The end result is a yearning to make and create wonderful images. But for me, a lot of photography is bound up in the craft and the journey and the way that you come to the final image. So it's important for me to communicate to them an understanding that photography, for me, is not just about the final image. It's about all the things that you have to do to come to the final image. It's about the struggle and the heartache and the hardship. Those of you who still shoot film, you understand what I'm saying. It's about the joy of finally getting to your destination, that singular, beautiful image that you envision from start to finish. And it's about the heartache of perhaps not having that beautiful image happen. So it's about the journey and all the struggles along the way and all the skills that you have to have. So because let's not overlook the fact that if you go from the East Coast to the West Coast in a stagecoach, you have to have a lot of wilderness skills and other various skills in order to make it there. And so for me, the journey is the biggest portion of why I still shoot film, because I could find other means of making images that were faster and less difficult and less arduous and more predictable for that matter. So for me, all of the aspects bound up with the journey of shooting film are a big part of why I still do it. So I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I'm sure a lot of you can. So this is a good way of describing why I still shoot film. Don't get me wrong, I love film and I love the look of it, and I do think it has a distinctly different look than other image capturing methods. But I think that the best way to describe to people that don't use film why anyone would still want to is bound up heavily in the idea of how you come to that final image.